So today's session is quite a nice, relaxed, chilled session, and working on easing out all that tension. So this will be perfect for people to log on at different times and do this at any point in the working day. Particularly good at the end of the working day. We're going to start with that really calming breath, that alternate nostril breathing, and then we will start from the head, working all the way down, right to our toes to ease out any of that tension. So to begin, I don't mind how you sit, just sit comfortably. So that can be on your knees, it can be cross-legged. You can actually do this on your back if you would prefer. So just come into a comfortable seated position. I'm going to be cross-legged, but what I am going to do, cross-legged, is put my opposite leg forward. Quite often when you have the leg in front that you're used to having, your hips can actually become unequal and tighter on one side than the other. So if you are sitting cross-legged, switch it over. It might feel a little bit weird, and you can probably see that my left knee is a little bit higher, my left is a little tighter. So let's start with that breath. Empty your lungs. Big sigh out the mouth. Let shoulders come down and back. So we're doing that alternate nostril breathing. 3 fingers. Place the furthest to the left finger on the left nostril. Place the middle finger just on the bridge of the nose and inhale through the right. Fully inhaling, fill those lungs, allow that rib cage to fill up and expand. Close the right, exhale on the left. When empty, inhale on the left. Close and exhale right. Inhale on the right. Close, exhale on the left. Inhale on the left. Close, exhale right. And each time as you're doing this, really try and lengthen out that breath on each side. Inhale right. And really try and increase the capacity of your lungs. Close, exhale left. And really empty so that you've got nothing left in there. Inhale left. Close the left nostril, exhale on the right. Pausing before you take that inhale in on the right. Close the right nostril, exhale left. Slowly. Pause, inhale, take it in on the left. Feel that rib cage opening. Close, exhale right. Just doing one more round on each side. Inhale on the right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. And then return your hand down and exhale with both nostrils. Inhaling both nostrils. Exhaling both nostrils. And then just take that moment to acknowledge that you might already be feeling more calm, more settled, ready to begin your practice. There is an invitation to close your eyes here. I will keep mine open and talk you through our relaxation from head to toe. So let's drop that chin to our chest and begin with our necks. We hold so much tension in our necks, particularly during the working week. So the beauty of this is that we're just on the exhale allowing us to connect to the weight of our head and allow that head weight to guide the stretch in the neck and deepen the stretch in the neck. Taking your gaze down to your tummy and maybe just tucking that chin under a little bit more. We're going to take 3 more breaths here, and there's the option to stay where you are, or if you're really enjoying that stretch, you can deepen the stretch by just hanging your arms on the back of your head. So we're not pulling, we're just adding the extra weight of our arms on the back of the neck. One full deep breath there. Release the arms down and taking that head up, and it should feel like your head has come up a lot further than when it went down. Let's take our gaze over our left shoulder as we exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. This time let's drop that left ear down to that left shoulder. And when we play around with the gaze, the focus point, and turn our chin, we go to different parts of the side of the right neck. So take your gaze down to your knee, your left knee, and notice how that stretch changes. Take the gaze back to the horizon. And again, you can stay there, or you can lengthen your right arm away and just rotate that wrist. And we're really working on the connecting fascia right from our fingertips all the way up the arm, into the shoulder, into the neck, right up to the ear. So just enjoying the free movement in the wrist and fingers. Return that hand back to the knee and slowly bringing that head back up to center. Again, noticing how long it takes for your head to rise back up, because when we drop over to the right, it might feel like you hardly go anywhere. So bringing that right ear down towards the right shoulder. Really focusing on the exhale to allow that head to feel a little bit heavier. That left shoulder's drawing down. Let's take that gaze over to the right knee. Breathing there. And then inhaling, taking that gaze back to the horizon. And again, there's that option to send that left arm away and rotate that left wrist. Just really connecting those tissues and working on the flexibility right from the wrist all the way up to the ear. Lovely, one more breath there. And let's inhale that head up, return the left hand to the knee, drop the head back down to the chest. Inhale, take the head high, take the chin high, and there's the option to grit your teeth here. When we do that, that stretch really sends itself all the way down to the chest. Release, chin back down to chest. And as we inhale, rock the head over to the left side. The left ear comes towards the left shoulder. Exhale, allow that chin to come to chest. Inhale over to the right. So it's a really small move. It's like a slow motion pendulum. And you might be feeling this actually going into the top of your back, and that's really good. We're stimulating and stretching all those fine muscles from our neck into our shoulders. Lovely. One last time. Over to the left, down to the center, and inhale, taking that head up. Let's roll those shoulders slowly, bringing them up to the ears, down your back, twice more. Lovely, and the opposite way. I might get some crunching or some kind of friction there. Just enjoy that, maybe even some tingling. And pausing there. Let's send that left hand out to the side, either on fingertips or on your palm. I prefer to on my fingertips. On the inhale, we're taking that right arm up to the ceiling. And first of all, just imagine someone's taking that right wrist out of your body. So really lengthening on that right side. And there's hardly any weight on these left fingers. It's just to stabilize. Options, take the gaze up to the thumb. Breathing there, sitting on your sitting bones, pressing that right sitting bone down. Exhale, let's take that right hand down. Open up on the left side. Inhale, take that left hand up. Gaze up, stretch up, really opening the left side of that rib cage. Lovely, and exhale, going down. So option to repeat that if that was enough for you. Or follow me as we inhale, taking that right arm up, and then perhaps extend it further by bending in that left elbow and coming over to the left hand side. Keeping that arm straight so we're not hanging it down like a fancy ballerina, we're sending it to maybe the corner of the ceiling where it meets the wall. Really opening on that right side, but still pushing that right sitting bone down. If you're feeling that tension build back up in the neck, just turn your gaze down to the mat. One more breath there. And inhale, come all the way up, right side. So right fingertips to the floor, inhale the left arm up. And as you exhale, bending that right elbow, leaning over to the right side, but your shoulders are still stacked. We're not coming forward or back. It's as if we're really trying to be down one plane of motion. Pressing that left sitting bone down, gazing down the mat if your neck is building up with tension. Breathe. And inhale, coming all the way up. Lovely, just going a little bit faster, inhaling, exhaling, maybe like a swaying tree. Coming over to the right side. Twice more on each side, just really moving and opening on each side. Last time. Lovely. I'm sure you all look like yogis right now. And let's take those hands behind us, clasp those hands and then unclasp and clasp the opposite way, like someone's holding your hand. Draw those hands down your back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. The more you squeeze your hands together, the more the chest opens and the shoulder blades come together. Again, option to stay there, or you can take your gaze skywards, or perhaps you want to bring your chest forward and start to bring those hands off your back. So that's lengthening in the spine, deepening the stretch in the shoulder blades and chest. Two options there. Last breath. And release. So everything should start to feel a little bit more loose already. Just rotate those shoulders, maybe one at a time, maybe together. Lovely. And let's come on to all fours. So spreading those fingers wide. Weight under the fleshy part of your thumb, knees below your hips, knees hip distance apart. We're going to tuck our toes here so we're not forgetting those really small muscles in our soles of feet. Exhale, press your bottom towards your heels, push into the base of your hands, allow your head to relax a little bit. Inhale, coming forwards, lean forwards with those straight arms coming over those wrists. Again, just like our necks, exhale, come back. A lot of tension can build up on our wrists without us knowing. Inhale, coming forward, especially if we're doing a lot of typing or texting, or perhaps even on a bike or weight training. Exhale, coming back. Inhale, coming forwards. So challenge yourself to maybe go a little bit further, planting those fingertips down, really imprinting on the mats. Exhale, coming back. And this time as you inhale, come forwards, turn your fingertips out, your thumbs at the top, and gently sway side to side. Breathing there. Not going too fast. Everything is in kind of slow motion. And then finally, try and rotate those fingertips more. You might only go perhaps 2 dials on a clock, but see if you can go from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So you're turning those fingers towards your knees, pressing into the base of the wrists, the hands. So watch your shoulders here. If you can see if I'm being a little bit lazy, I'm hunched, but press in. So we've got that really strong structure in our shoulders. If that's enough, stay there. If you're not feeling that stretch, begin to bring that bottom down without peeling those hands off the mat. Breathe. And let's peel those hands away. Keep those toes tucked. Bring the weight of your bottom down and just rotate those wrists. Lovely. Okay. So getting either, you can stay, in fact, I'm going to make you all stay on your toes with your bottom of your heels. I'm going to stretch into those hands and arms and shoulders. So clasp your hands, send the palms away, stretch into the back by curving that spine. Look towards your hands. Inhale, send those palms skywards and curve your back the opposite way. Exhale down. Inhale up. I know your toes might be screaming at you. Bear with me. Exhale, coming down. You can do it. It will benefit. Inhale up. Release those hands. Bring the hands back down. Slowly release those toes. Feel the blood come back in. Perhaps tap the tops of your feet to the mat. Lovely. So continuing into our spine, let's drop the belly, stick that bottom out, shoulders back. Inhale, take the gaze up. Exhale, chin to chest, curve that spine for a cat stretch. Inhale for cow. Exhale, cats. Lovely. Keep moving with this breath. Inhale, cow. Option to grip the teeth at the top of cow. Exhale for your cat. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Feels so good to move that spine. Inhale. Exhale. And then coming to a flat spine, suck that belly button in, that really good structure. And then we're going to turn our gaze over to the right. Curl that right hip towards the right shoulder. Look over your right hip. Inhale to center, coming back to the left side. Still sucking that belly button in, still having that strong structure. Inhale to center, 1 more time each side. Exhale, curve to the right. Should be like a C shape in your right torso. Center and over to the left. Lovely, lovely. Inhale to center. Okay, so that good work we've done on our chest and spine, we're now going to deepen a little bit more. Your knees stay beneath your hips as you walk your hands forwards. Come to your forearms and begin to stick that bottom out. So puppy dog stretch. Imagine a puppy trying to be really playful, which I'm sure you all have seen. And that's what we're kind of imitating here. Lengthen those hands more forwards if that feels okay. Allowing that chest to sink to the mat. So your forehead can come to the mat. You might want to just wag your bottom, wag your tail, just getting some movement into that lower back and the muscles surrounding. If you do want to deepen this more, you can come to your fingertips and lower your chest down. That just sends the stretch deeper into your shoulder blades, so it's your choice. Breathing there. And then inhale, come up a little bit, just enough so you can thread that right arm through the left arm. Your right palm is facing the ceiling, and bring that right shoulder down, sending that left hand forward, and your right ear comes down. Really nice shoulder twist. Breathing there. Lovely. And then press into that left palm so you can unthread that right arm, repeating on the opposite side. So let's send that left palm up, threading the left arm under the right, the left ear comes down, and send that right arm forwards. Breathing there. Lovely. And then inhale and thread. Lovely. So we've done loads of spine work that way here. So we're about to come into what's called, I think it's turtle pose in Bikram. So bring the knees together. Bring your bottom to your heels. So we've been curving the spine backwards. We're now going to extremely curve it forwards, and this is really good as an invigorating pose, and from it we will also come into camel. So I want you to find your heels with your hands, just holding onto those heels, or perhaps the back of your t-shirt if your heels are not accessible. As you exhale, we're going to roll down, so bring that chin to your chest and begin to roll your spine so your forehead is coming down in front of your knees. The crown of your head is on the floor, your nose is pointing towards your knees, and if you've got hold of your heels, begin to raise your bottom up so you're rolling onto the top of your head. Hold on to those heels and see if you can push into those knees more to raise your spine up. So this is perhaps why it's called tortoise or turtle, because you're creating that shell with your spine. Breathing there, 2 more breaths. And then slowly bringing that bottom down to your heels, slowly uncurling that spine, bringing your head all the way back up. Roll those shoulders. If you had a head rush there, just take a moment to allow it to feel okay again. Lovely. So coming into a small back bend. It is lovely and invigorating. Camel, so bringing your knees together, coming onto your knees, tuck that tailbone under. Put your hands into imaginary jeans pockets in the back and squeeze your elbows together so we're opening our chest. And this is the start of our camel pose. Perhaps a little bit more relevant for me at the moment because I have 2 humps with a growing human inside there. But we're going to send our torso up to the ceiling, gazing up to that ceiling so our humps are facing up. So breathing there, pressing into that lower back with your hands, but squeezing those glutes, gazing up. Lovely. One more breath. And slowly returning that spine to neutral. Bring your bottom to your heels. It's very normal, again, to get a head rush there. Send your knees out wide. Walk those hands forwards. Coming into a child's pose just for a moment. Breathing there. Perhaps rocking those hips side to side. Lovely. So as we're traveling down, we're now coming to our hips. We'll come to our hip flexors, our quads, our calves, and our ankles. So we're going to tuck those toes coming up into the all fours. As you tuck the toes, bring your bottom to your heels. Press into your hands to lift your knees up. So we're in kind of a low squat. Exhale, bring those knees back down. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, push into those hands, lift those knees up. This time, walking those hands up. So we're in more of a traditional squat. Your heels can be off the floor, but the only thing I really want you to be informed about is keeping your feet facing forwards. If you've brought your heels down and you're rolling in on those ankles, that's really intense stretch for those inner ankles and that pronation. So I'd much rather your feet facing forwards, but your heels be off the mat if flat feet is not accessible without rolling in. So let's just sway side to side in this squat. Don't worry if your bottom is high, it's all good work for your hips, no matter your starting point. Okay, pausing in the middle there, let's raise our bottom high, let your head sink low, and just step out those legs. So bend one knee and the other, so just like we were doing in a squat, but now with straight legs, moving side to side. Perhaps widen your stance a little bit. Bend your knees, lift those heels if you need to, and come back into that squat. Again, moving side to side. Option this time is to have your hands in prayer, gently pressing open those knees a little bit more. I really like moving around in the squat. I find if I'm still, tension can then build up in like a lot of yoga poses. So for me, movement is key. Exhale those hands down, lift that bottom up, head down again. Let's work that movement into the knees, to the legs. And we'll come down into that squat one last time. Bottom down, option to keep those hands down or coming into prayer. And in fact, we can open up a little bit more. So each time when I add on, if that's not comfortable for you, stay at the beginning. But I'm going to send my left hand out. My arm is still in front of my knee, and raise my right arm up to the ceiling. Take a breath there. And then exhale those hands back to prayer. Create that movement. And then let's bring that right hand down. Let's raise that left hand high. Breathing there. And return the hands to prayer. Let's take those hands down, lift that bottom high. Bend in one knee and the other. Lovely. And then heel toe your feet wider. So we've still got our hands down, but we've now come into a wide-legged stretch. So heel toe your feet out as far as feels comfortable for you, but send the weight to the outside of the foot. So really imprint the outside of the foot to the mat. Bring the weight into your toes, so you have to grip the mat with your toes. Bring your palms down if that's accessible. If this is not accessible for you, bend your knees or shorten the gap between your feet. So just pausing there for the moment. And then just like we did with squats, let's bring the left hand in front of our nose and we're going to raise that right arm up. So a gentle spinal twist, but we are working into our legs as well. Try to bring that weight into your toes more, gripping the mats. And exhale that right hand down. Switch with the left. As you inhale, take that left hand high. Option to gaze up at that left hand, or you can keep gazing down at that right hand. Breathing there. And let's bring that left hand down. Separate those hands, walk them back towards your feet. Inhale, gaze up. And either exhale, just let your head come down, or if you can, bend those elbows backwards so you can really deepen that stretch in your legs. If you find your head on the floor, be my guest to press into those hands and lift those legs off into a headstand. I appreciate that might not be today or ever, but you know, we can always give it a go. Maybe one day I'll do it for you. Breathing there. And an inhale, let's press into those hands. Look forward and let's heel toe those feet back in, closing that gap. Cross your ankles, bring your bottom down to the mat and send those legs forwards. Lovely. So legs together, roll the shoulders up to your ears, coming into Dandasana, that staff pose. So arms exactly in line with your torso, either side of your hip, tight into your hip. Flex the toes towards your face and kind of roll the knees in as if they're kind of trying to touch each other. Your gaze is at your toes. Draw that belly button in so your spine is super straight and strong. And if this is enough for you and you kind of go, ooh, focus on your exhale. Focus on your breath and focus on lengthening those legs. If this is not enough for you, flex those toes more so those heels come off the floor. We're getting that contraction at the top of our legs and the lengthen in the back. Squeezing the shoulder blades together so we're not hunching. Breathing there for 3, 2, and 1. Let's release those legs and you realize how hard you were working. Let's bring the right sole of the foot, lengthen out the left leg to the side, right sole of the foot into the inside of the left thigh. Your knee might be up here, that's okay. Just rest your arm on the inside of the right knee to encourage that opening. If your knee's down on the floor, bring your left hand in front of your left leg and guide that left hand away. Flexing those left toes, gazing on our right shoulder, above our right shoulder towards the ceiling. Breathing there, flexing those left toes so you're really lengthening in that left leg. And then inhale, coming all the way up. Lovely. We're going to take that left leg forward and that right leg over the top. Squeeze that right leg in, grow taller. Take your gaze over that right shoulder and bring that right hand behind you, having a gentle twist, but also really lengthening from your right sitting bone all the way into your knee. Breathing there. Inhale forwards, release, and bring that right knee on top of our left. Again, it might be really far up, that's okay. Just rest your arms on top of the knee if it is. If the gap is quite close with your knees, draw yourself up and take your arms out to the side. We're going to add on with a shoulder stretch. Bring your right arm under the left, twist like ropes. And then as you exhale, bring your body towards your right thigh. Breathing there. 2 more breaths, flexing those left toes, so we're really lengthening that left leg, but also working on that right hip flexibility. Inhale, rising up. Release, and we'll repeat on the right side. So let's lengthen out that right leg to the right side. Left sole of the foot comes into the right thigh. Keep, again, if that right knee's lifted, just keep that left arm on that left knee, so we've got the opening there. Slide that right hand down the inside of that right leg. Gaze over and up on the left side. Breathing there, flexing those right toes towards the ceiling, so really lengthening out that left leg. Nice. And then inhaling, coming back up. Returning that right leg forward, bringing that left leg over the top of the right, hugging it in, grow taller, feeling that stretch all the way down the left leg. Again, my right leg's not on a holiday, I've still got those right toes pointing towards the ceiling. And then take that right hand behind you, take the gaze behind you on, did I say right hand behind you? Sorry, left hand behind you, and take your gaze over your left shoulder. That gentle twist. Still hugging that left leg in. Lovely, and inhaling forwards, let that left leg come out to the right side, stacking those knees on top of each other, and either that gentle pressure on top of that left knee, or join me with your arms out to the side, this time left under right, twist like ropes, guide those elbows down, and option to fold. Breathe there. Lovely. I really like this stretch. Inhaling, coming up, unwind. Let those legs come back out, give them a bit of a shake, roll those shoulders. Okay, coming onto that hip flexor stretch, but also that quad stretch. So let's return back to our all fours. Bring your right leg forward, however it gets there. It might be extremely unglamorous, but just bring that right foot forwards. Shuffle that left knee back so your weight is on top of that left knee. Your right knee's on top of your right ankle and drop those hips down. Be mindful you're not hunching. If you find you're hunching, draw those shoulders back, or you can come up and rest on that right knee. Looking for a straight, strong spine there. If you find the tension's building up on the left hip flexor, just ease off and ease back in. I actually quite like that easing off and easing back in, because I'm not one for staying in a pose for too long. We've got 2 more breaths there. And there's 2 options for our quad stretch. One of which might not be accessible for you, but not to worry, because there's another way we can do it in a moment. Bring your left hand down and bend your left knee so that left foot comes up. Reach back with your right hand to find that foot. If you can't get it, this is your modification. Bring your left hand to your right thigh, and then you might be able to find that left foot. That might be a really deep, intense stretch on your quad, so don't force it. Don't draw that heel in unless it's accessible. If you're further down, work on drawing that in, that heel in. If you get any cramp in your left thigh, just tuck those toes and lift that leg so that blood can rush back in. Quite often cramp can be created on the muscle that's not being stretched, on the muscle that's contracting, which is your hamstring in this case. Okay, let's release. Slide that right foot back. Bring that left foot forwards. And then shuffle that right knee back, coming on top of the right knee. And finding your low lunge on that right side, that right hip flexor we're focusing on now. Dropping those hips. Might be more comfortable for you resting on your left leg, opening up that chest. But there's that option to ease in and out. Always focusing on that exhale as you relax into the poses. Lovely. One more breath here. And then just like we did on the opposite side, 2 options to get that quad stretch. Either lifting that right leg, finding the right foot with the left hand and drawing that heel in, or coming up, bringing that right hand to the left thigh, bending the left knee there, keeping your balance. Cheating, drawing that left foot in. So wherever you are for that quad stretch, just go carefully. One more breath there. And bringing that foot back down, slide that left leg back, and come into that kind of all fours funky dance. So just going to put all those stretches together in our legs by planting those hands down. Step that right foot back, step that left foot back into that plank, and then lift those hips up to the ceiling, lengthening the spine, coming into your downward dog. So really lovely calf stretch. Stepping out those heels. Just going to move my mat. It's creeping away from me. Taking that time to enjoy that calf stretch. Again, your downward dog never has to be static. You can make it really dynamic by moving, bending your knees, lengthening, Swishing your hips. Do what feels good. Inhale, coming over back into that plank. Bend the knees, coming into all fours. Doing that transition twice more. Engage the core. Inhale, lift that bottom high. Exhale, lengthen into whichever downward dog you like. Breathing there. Inhale, tiptoes, knees straight as you come forward to your plank. Knees down. Pause. Inhale, press into those hands. Lift off those knees. Press back into your downward dog. This time I'm just hanging my right foot behind my left, deepening this calf stretch on my left side. And I'm switching over. Kind of what horses do when they rest one leg. Kind of seen what I mean. They kind of just go onto their hoof on one side, don't they? And planting both feet down. Inhaling, coming to that plank. Exhale, knees down. Let's unhook the toes, bring our bottoms down. Coming into that lovely child's pose, forehead to the mat. Breathing there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Inhale, coming up. Tuck those toes, coming into that downward dog. Looking up to your hands, walking those feet forwards. Hanging in your kind of ragdoll pose. Taking the elbows. You can bend your knees as much as you like. And then inhale, coming into a flat back, fingertips to the mat. Breathing there. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. This time as we exhale, fold, step or hop back to your plank. Push back into your downward dog. Take 5 breaths there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walking those feet halfway up to your mat. Cross at the ankles, bend at the knees. Find your bottom on the mat. Bring your feet to the top of your mat, straight, strong spine, your knees are bent. Bring your arms forwards. And then imagine your spine as the cogs at the bottom of an army truck. And as you exhale, begin to lower each vertebrae onto the mat, going as slow as you can, because that will really help to engage and strengthen your core. When you feel like you're going to collapse, exhale and really try to slow it down until finally your shoulders are on the mat, your head comes to the mat. Bring those knees in, hug those knees, rock side to side. Breathe there. And send those feet down the mat. Turn the ankles side to side. And hopefully you are feeling fully mobile from your head right down to your toe. Everything feels lovely and loose and less tense, but just going to make sure, one of my favorite ways to end my practice is creating that extreme tension to feel that relaxation. It's a bit like, you know, when you go to the gym and really, really push it hard because you know the relaxation is going to be all the better. Or like that Sunday roast always tastes so much better when you've been for a run or a big hike than it does if you've been indoors all day. So your relaxation is going to feel so good. I just squeeze a bit more out of you, is basically what I'm saying. So feet together, scrunch up those toes, knees together, squeeze your bottom, fists with your hands and squeeze them inside, into the sides of your thighs, shoulders to your ears, grit your teeth, screw up your face, squeeze everything out your body, squeeze, 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 and relax. One last time, let's start with our eyes. Scrunch up your eyes, grit your teeth, scrunch your nose. If you can, squeeze your ears. Bring your shoulders to your ears. Fists with your hands, take them into your waist. Squeeze your bottom tighter. Squeeze that bottom as tight as you can. Squeeze your legs together, your knees, scrunch up your toes. Squeeze every last drop of energy out. And relax. Told you it would feel good. Separate your feet out a little bit wider. Roll your shoulders to your ears and just plant those shoulder blades down to the mat. Allow that gap between your lower back and the mat to form. Palms face the ceiling. Turn your head side to side. Stopping in the middle, closing your eyes. Relax your jaw, so parting your teeth. And to keep your focus today, I want you to go to a place that makes you smile. Not necessarily, you know, a special place, but where were you last time you smiled? Go to that place. See yourself smiling. You may even be smiling now, recounting what made you smile. But just hold yourself in that place right now in your relaxation. If your mind begins to wander elsewhere, that's okay, just acknowledge it. Okay, I've gone to that place. Oh, I'm thinking about that. Oh, I must remember to pick that up. Just acknowledge that, but then come back to that place that made you smile. Allow yourself to relive that and enjoy that, because the best parts of life are built up of experiences, and the best experiences should be remembered over and over again. So enjoy your time, remembering what made you smile. Teaching this class has certainly made me smile. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for practicing with me. See you again. Namaste.